Hello everybody, it is Ebontis, and in this video we are here in Act 3. No April Fools here, even though the internet is a bit annoying on April Fools, but you just gotta move on. You see a few things and you're like, oh, no, never mind. But Act 3 is here, and we got week 1 of the story, and we've got some quests to do, so I've got a few tips for you guys to go over, and then just a little feedback from you guys in the end of what you're looking for next as we get farther along. One thing to make note of, the Rite of the Nine. So we're talking about the dungeon thing with Prophecy and the other dungeons that they're going to have, and all the challenge modes and all the differences there. That is on May 6th, so we have 5 weeks until that comes. Just so you know, if you were looking for that, it's not going to be here for a little while. So you've got the story, a little break probably. Then we'll get to Rite of the Nine in May, and that's probably going to let them space things out a little bit. No date when the season is too. If you come to the season pass, there's no date on how many days it's going to be. I think at this point, my guess is the season may get, or Apollo may not have a date because they don't want to put a date on things until it's ready. They need to see what release dates are looking like. And honestly, I would much rather them take their time, because I don't know if like Codename Apollo, that first expansion, is one that can really bomb, because they need to pick things up and I want them to do it right. But first thing that we're doing is you need to go and pretty much start out, and you're going to go run the Court of Vorok, or the Sunless Cell. So you're going to talk to Eris in the Shaping Slab. She's going to tell you, hey, go do this mission, and then just go run the Sunless Cell. Easy, simple to do that. Just open your directory, go to the last city. It's going to show right here as a different name. So if you see it up here, don't run it from here. You need to run the mission from like right down here on the directory. It's just gone since I ran it earlier. But it is the Sunless Cell, same thing you're doing. It's kind of cool for a throwback in there, but if you have played the Sunless Cell before, you kind of know it's coming. It just looks all Destiny 2'd up, but outside of that, it's the Sunless Cell Strike. Slightly different enemy in there, so you'll kind of get the gist of it once you are done with that. Then you get to the longer portion of this week where you've got your quests. Same thing we did in a previous act where you had a certain number of quests that you got to big up, different objectives you got to do. There's 6 total. You have to do 4 of them, so you don't have to do all of them again like there. So go pick up all of them. So once you're done with the strike, then head back to the Shaping Slab and go pick up all the quests. There's 6 of them. So pick up all the quests. And now I'm going to switch screens so I can actually go through and talk about each one of them with you. And my goal there is just to kind of break down a couple of tips as you go. All right, so there are 6 quests. If they have 3 parts, there's a 1 and a 2, and then it's go back and turn it into the Shaping Slab. If it's a 1 of 2, you're just going straight back to the slab after you're done. I just turned them all in at the same time. Now, one thing to pay attention to when you're doing these quests, some will tell you to be on the path of resolve, some will tell you to be on the path of ambition. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, look at my week 2 or Act 2 thing. That'll talk about the path of ambition, how to unlock it. Not that hard, but just something you need to unlock, and you've got an alternate reputation path. So, quests. Misguided Vengeance. So for this one, you've got defeat Lucent Hive Guardians or Lucent Hive on Savathun's throne world using Solar or Arc, and claim the Witch Queen's runes. So slaying Hive anywhere in the system will occasionally yield those runes as well. So if you're just slaying Hive anywhere else, you might get some. It's much faster to do this on Savathun's throne world. You get one for like every one that you do. Normal Hive are fine. Hive Guardians are cool. There's plenty of places for those. And when I'm done talking about these, I'm going to go back to the game, talk about a couple different parts of the map as a reminder. So that is pretty straightforward. This part specifically here is the longest part, I would say. So if you actually like kind of set this one up and then go work on all the rest, even though it might not feel like the right order, you can probably make more progress on this one continually while you're doing all the other stuff, as opposed to trying to specifically go after this one. I left this one last, and I would not recommend that. So defeat Zivorath's Elite Hive. That is anything that does not have a red health bar, be it orange or boss or mini boss, whatever. Elite Hive anywhere in the system, and mark their deaths with Savathun's runes. So you'll just see like Savathun's rune, and it's like initiated, or however it says it up there, as soon as you're killing the right level Hive. So if you're looking for anything that is not a red bar, it has to be orange, like orange mini boss or boss. All of those will count. And that is why I would tell you to run around, kill Lucent Hive, Lucent Guardians, and I'll tell you a couple places to get those. Running around and doing that, having that done, and then going to do all the rest of this stuff, you will gradually make progress on this the whole time you're doing everything else, and that will actually make it a little bit easier. So keep that in mind, but this is Elite Hive specifically. So as you can see, debrief the Shaping Slab when you get done. That's the end of each quest. So, second one, Witch's Gambit. This one, notice it says walking the path of resolve. Later on, You'll see some, this requires you to walk the path of ambition. Certain ones require different paths, so pay attention because you can kind of catch yourself working on the wrong stuff. This one specifically says, while walking the path of resolve, complete Nether secrets. And secrets are going to be things like finding the glowing ball. Get near it, it moves. Get near it, it moves. Get near it, it moves. Moves one more time, turns into a chest. It can be things like having the thrall follow you from the worms to the worms, and then that thrall turns into an acolyte, have it follow you, and then that one turns into a knight, and then you kill it. And there's another one in, I think it's the Hall of Souls. It's the one where, like, you've got the big boss platform in the middle. It's like the Court of Blades takes place there. That's where, like, the prep area is. If you have the thing where you can jump up on the floating platform and jump all through the invisible platforms, that one will count. Those are your secret type things. If you see the little, like, green, almost like green candle things on the floor, and you light all those three, and then like an enemy shows up, those are your secrets. That's the type of stuff you're looking for there. Clearing encounters is exactly what you think. Every encounter where it's, kill the 3 wizards or stand on the plates, and then you do some damage or whatever it is to the dreadnought, that's what an encounter is. And the farther you get into a Nether run, the more progress you're going to make, because my first one was like, 3 encounters were 20% and the boss was 20%, and that got me up to 40. But I had it done by the time I was done with like the second full area. I was done completely. So I didn't even have to do a full run to complete this one. The third one is something I would recommend. As soon as you get into the Nether and you do a couple of the encounters, make sure, one, if you're going to be looking for secrets in the zone that you're in, like if you know where some are, do not clear the 3rd encounter, which prompts the boss, until you're done looking for secrets. Because if you do that, the secrets will like spawn and then disappear instantly, and that's going to kind of screw you over. So make sure you do 2 of the encounters, hunt for your secrets, then do the 3rd encounter and then the boss. But once you do enough encounters to get the, basically it's the choice between the 3 boons, like normal, and the corrupted. This is where you need to pick a corrupted boon. Normally, most people probably don't, but you need to pick one, and then you're going to need to defeat 100 corrupted while you're roaming around, or 100 enemies while you have a corrupted boon. Now, after you pick up a corrupted boon, you may have some limitations on what you can pick up afterwards, but have fun with that for a little while. Might change your playstyle a bit, but as you're progressing through the rest of your Nether run, just got to kill 100 enemies. In all of these different rooms, that was not hard to do. But pay attention to, if you're looking for the secrets, do those before you finish the 3rd encounter, because as soon as you spawn the boss, no more secrets can be basically accomplished in that area. So do those beforehand. Once you're done with all those, you'll be done with that quest. Another one, reap marks of Xivu Wrath from Hive forces in the Nether by using Void or Strand. So there's going to be my recommendation to find a Void Sword, Void Glaive, a Strand Glaive, or a Strand Sword, and kind of leave it on you as you're running around doing half of this stuff, because you're going to use it almost the whole time. But you notice this says in the Nether. Don't go to a strike outside of the Nether and try and get this done. It will be kind of pointless. So you're going to have to pay, you're like, if you see Hive, switch over to that sword or that glaive. And remember, if you're using a glaive, you need the projectile and not the melee to kill them, because I'm pretty sure, I don't think, you would have to confirm, but I don't think the melees with the glaive were counting as glaive kills. You're going to need the actual bullets to do it. But it is a special weapon. You're going to see special ammo pretty often. So kind of a toss-up if you want to go with glaive and sword, or however you want to do it. But again, Void or Strand. And then keep in mind, there'll be a reason I mentioned those. So kill Hive on the Nether. Here is crush Lucent Ghosts or defeat powerful Hive to mark their deaths with Xivu's rune anywhere in the system. Now you can see crush Lucent Ghosts. That makes sense. That's just finishing the Lucent Hive Ghost. Defeat Lucent Hive on Savathun's throne world to draw the sisters to each other more quickly. You have to do this after you do this one. So this is why I said you're going to probably go to Savathun's throne world first and get that one part done, so then you can start defeating Hive. Then as you're killing Hive anywhere in the system, and if you find any boss Hive, they're going to count towards that boss progress, like this one would. And then when you head back here to crush Lucent Ghost and defeat powerful Hive, easiest thing I can tell you to do, defeat Lucent Hive on Savathun's throne world to draw the sisters more quickly. I'll tell you where to do this one, but it's the Lost Sector in the Quagmire. It worked really well for this. Take up a sword or a glaive and defeat Taken anywhere in the system. If you're doing Court of Blades, if you're doing the Nether, just have a sword or a glaive on you and use it all the time. And remember, if you're killing Taken or you're killing Hive, Void Sword, glaive, a strand glaive, they're going to be 2 birds with 1 stone. So just always trying to make sure you're working on as many things as you can at the same time. 150 taken, you're done with this one. This is the big screaming thing that says Path of Ambition. So this is where you got to pay attention. Are you Path of Ambition or are you Path of Resolve? Make sure you have the right thing active when you're working on these quests. So when you are in Path of Ambition, this is where the Court of Blades is going to come in. So pretty easy switch for this one. Slay challengers, pretty straightforward. You get 2 challengers in each room. You got to do 5 total rooms. You'll get done with that one. Rune spent. If you can get 3 tier 3 runes all done in one run, cool. I had to do a second run, which was, I got partway through a run and then I was done. I finished it up for the loot, but 2 runs and you'll be done. This is not hard to do. Just make sure you let your rune charge all the way up to tier 3, and then you can spin it on whatever. You can spin it on tier 3 first, but then if you want a tier 1 after that, do it. You just have to spend the tier 3 level of rune on whichever purchase you're making, and that will be the one that counts. So let them stock up to tier 3 and then spend them. While on the Path of Ambition, defeat Hive in the Nether with the Sword or Glaive. So this is where it's a little annoying. And this is where it's like, the Path of Resolve ones are specifically this one, where it's Nether Secrets. And then this one is Path of Ambition, defeat Hive in the Nether with a Sword or Glaive. So you're going to have to do the Nether more than once. You're going to probably have to swap back and forth. This is why, like, defeating Hive, defeating Elite Hive is a bit of a kind of annoyance of back and forth, I would say. But just find a Void Sword, find a Strand Glaive, vice versa, whatever it is, and then just use that to kill every Hive, every Taken you can find, and you'll check like all of these boxes. Just make sure if you're working on this one, this is Path of Ambition, and then back here for the secrets and stuff, this is Path of Resolved. You don't need to do any specific like type of killing, so it might honestly be easier to do this one. So defeat the Hive Guardians here, and then be on Path of Ambition to go do most of this other stuff. Like, this is kind of the order I ended up doing it. And then your final thing is probably going to end up being some of the Path of Resolve, another run in the Nether. So that kind of is the order that I ended up doing it. But I would say queue this one up first. This one right here. Go to the Throne World, and that way you'll be working on the Elite Hive the whole time, and you don't have to go searching for him afterwards. But let me switch back to the game, cover a couple things on the map. So before I go to the map, I'll literally show you. It's like, the first step is literally pick up the quest. So pick up all 6. This will be done. When you turn in at least 4, then your quest will be done. You're going to go back to the Echo of Navigation. Basically go through the rift in the apartment, talk to Eris, and then Oryx will talk to you. You'll get a little bit of story there. Oryx is like, hey, my sisters are kind of lost their ways, so he's on board with what you're doing, pretty much. Now, a couple things. So for the Lucent Hive for the Throne World. Lucent Hive are going to be all up here in the Fluorescent Canal. This is my advice. Roam around here, find what you need. Fluorescent Canal, you'll find some in here. When I was saying, like, for specifically the ghost kill, just go to the Quagmire and run straight to the Extraction Lost sector, blast through it, and then at the end of it, you're going to have Lucent Hive as a boss, and that will get you some nice progress because you can crush their ghost. Literally, I think I ran this one twice when I had to get the Lucent Hive and crushing the ghost progress. I ran this twice and it was done. It's not that hard to do, but if you're looking for Lucent Hive to get that initial piece going, Fluorescent Canal is a nice place to do that. And then, again, if you're looking for Elite Hive, you could technically go run the Nightfall this week when I'm making this video. If you find this later, this will be less helpful. But the Scarlet Keep, on Advanced Nightfall, you're going to find a decent amount of innies that'll probably count towards that. So that's another option as well. But overall, just if I think everything I've told you, you're going to be spending a decent amount of time. You'll do Court of Blades. I had to do that twice. I was totally done. Nether, I think I ran through... I don't know if I did a full run solo. I did all of this solo, but that's just me. But a full run in the Nether and then like a partial run in the Nether. Just make sure you make sure you know which path that you're on, whether it's Resolve or Ambition, to make sure you're actually working towards which quest that you're on. And then when you need to switch, make sure you do that. That's most of it right now for week 1. As for some of the other quests like Barrow Diet and stuff like that, I've been playing a bunch of other stuff, so I've been a little off on my, working on this, but I think everything is officially out now, and I think I've also picked up everything to be able to go get all the exotic type stuff for this thing. So I will probably work on this on a separate video. So stay tuned, and I will try and put that all together in one. If you've waited for a while, I think you're probably like me and should hopefully be able to knock it all out together. So I'm going to try and do that sometime here soon and be able to actually get something together for kind of all of those catalysts and stuff. Other people are probably ahead of me, but if you're looking for it from me, hopefully I'll put that together soon. But that's about it for Heresy Act 3. And this is week 1. Story will probably be for now. Again, the Rite of the Nine, the dungeon stuff will be in May. And this is what we got. So a couple weeks of story. I wouldn't imagine there's too much else for the time being. After the story, maybe we'll get an idea of what's going to happen in the future. But for now, that is what we got. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like below. If you're looking for more from me, hit that subscribe button, hit the alert bell. Find me on Twitch, Twitter, Blue Sky, Patreon, all of it here. Thank you guys for the support, and I will see you all very soon.